My name is Michelle C. I was about 6 or 7 the first time. It was a hot summer day in California. I was with my dad. We saw a large white oval ship to the right of us. He went in to get his binoculars and left me there. It glided slowly and settled over the top of our house. It was huge, bigger than our house. It was like time stood still. Everything got quiet. It felt like time was frozen. There is much more and lots of weird things I realized as I got older. I'm not sure why they do it, but I think it's to do with hybrids and being a woman. It feels that way. That makes sense. I felt like I was chosen as a child. I felt a communication or like a probing in my head, and I was never the same afterwards. It's like I knew we weren't not alone. There were others out there, and it's hard to explain. I began to have psychic ability. My mother and grandmother also had this ability. It was like suddenly I just knew things. I don't like to talk about it. I haven't even begun to tell you my experience. It's happened my whole life. I barely told you any of it. What I told you was the very beginning of what has plagued me my whole life. I think it began with my grandmother and my mother. Since I haven't told you a lot, I don't mind if you share it. It is a lot that I have to tell, but I'm very reluctant to talk about it. Yes, I have. It's too long to tell. I would be up all night, like writing a book. Some things I'm not ready to talk about. Just can't. It's too much to deal with. I can tell you that I had a pregnancy where the baby was missing. It was on the monitor, just reached 6 months. Went into labor the next day, no baby, just the placenta. Then I was expecting twins. At 3-month checkup, both there. Sophisticated high-tech equipment in Seattle. Next time I go, there was only one baby. I was so disturbed. Doctors were disturbed. We had pictures of ultrasound with 2 babies. One thing is, I have always lived in wooded areas. Lots of UFO sightings in Washington. Now I've moved around a lot, but still next to woods. I saw one in my room. It was a gray, only it had slanted green eyes, and it glided into the darkest corner of my room after I screamed. I've seen one with a dark hooded cloak at the end of my bed, and one on the side of the bed. I have nightmares a lot and wake up screaming. Not sure why I'm telling you this, but it feels good to tell someone who won't think I'm crazy. I have terrible nightmares. I'm scared to talk about it. Trying to not let it bother me. There was a human-looking one with them. I will say goodnight. Thank you for talking to me and for the info. As you may have guessed, I'm obsessed with this. No, just very weird, vivid, weird dreams. Usually on another planet. Spacey. Yes, I have been abducted since early childhood. There is a lot. My mother and grandmother as well. There is a lot. I would probably try to start with my grandmother, since this is in my family as well. I guess I would like to talk to you more about my experience. I've been having strange, vivid dreams, and I think they are in my room at night. I know how weird that sounds. Maybe we can talk sometime. I don't know. I woke up to a dark hooded figure. It was gray with green, glittering, slanted eyes. No emotion from it. Then I also found myself outside in the middle of the night walking. Another time, several dark hooded figures around my bed. One very close to my face with deep blue eyes. Human with long golden hair wearing a cape. I thought he may be the father of my baby. Glimpses of a white oval room. The light almost like what you see in a negative. Too bright to keep my eyes open. Gray beings around me with bug-like eyes. Just a lot. These are only fragments. I have long blonde hair and blue-green eyes. I do have psychic ability that I've had since childhood. It's like I have a block, but I'm not very comfortable talking about this. I have nightmares and recently have had some experiences. One thing is I have always lived in a wooded area. I don't feel like I should talk about any of this. I've actually considered hypnotherapy.